There's been a lot of discussion on the running style of Norris Sullivan in the comments, I've noticed. I believe there is something we can adjust. It's the pants. That's what's been missing. That should be much better. Welcome back, everybody, to the St. Louis Cardinals franchise, Year 3. Today we continue on after a very successful opening day that saw us put up 10-plus runs, hit 2 homers with Lars Nootbaar, and dominate the New York Mets. And we'll kick things off today with some player lock. And up first, we're headed to the outfield with newcomer Lane Thomas. Corbin Burnes takes the mound after having a great first year in St. Louis last season, helping make up a very strong trio in our rotation. And already we've gotten 3 walks off of Kodai Senga, and here is Lane Thomas. Getting the start again in left field. 2 aboard, 2 down. Senga with a forkball. Haven't seen one of those in this game before. Out in front of that forkball, 2 strikes. We already have 1 across here in the first. Pitch 29 from Senga is outside. Runners will go. Line to center and having no need to move. The out is recorded. Immediately a homer for Francisco Alvarez. We counter with Tommy Edman blasting a home run to go back up by 1. Gorman now with a 2-run shot. 8-2 as we jump ahead. Another big day for this Cardinal offense. Could be a fun season. Line drive to left. It's a base hit for Francisco Alvarez. Trying to get the timing down with Thomas. I feel it's getting better. Down the middle now, Spencer Turnbull in for the 2nd straight day. But got him there. Up and in. Strike 3. And coming off the bench here with an 8-run lead, Norris Sullivan will have his 2nd chance after making his debut on opening day. First pitch is hammered foul. Oh, got the hanging curve and just wasted it. Not this one, but it's sent to short. Sully's retired. We gotta change up the cleats, man. These look like generic, like first day creative player cleats. We just keep hitting, by the way. It's 14 runs on 15 hits. And for Corbin Burnes, not going to be a shutout, but it will be a complete game win for St. Louis, starting the season with red-hot offense and 2 wins at home. Nootbaar homers again. No way did Victor Scott have a 4-for-4 game. Wow. Well, I guess we have the best offense to start the season 2 games in. 24 runs in 2 games. The next day, a little bit lower scoring as the Mets still lose a 4-1 ball game. Sonny Gray gets the victory this time around. Lane Thomas goes yard, so does Tommy Edman, 2nd straight day. Following our opening series sweep, Nestor Cortes has his debut in Miami. I want to do a player lock game here, but then we'll do a full game next, and we'll have that be one of Cortes' starts. But give me Victor Scott. The 3-0 Cardinals look to put together a very strong start to the year, and now travel to take on the Marlins, where we do face Trevor Rogers. Here in the first game, he's coming off a year with a 4.26 ERA, a 1.36 whip. Strikeout rate, I think, has dipped for him a bit. And here is Victor Scott with the Cardinals up 2-1 in the 3rd. Already 5 hits on the year for Scott, but now we'll see if he can handle hitting lefties. I've thought about platooning him, but our bench outfielder is also a lefty. That's not really proven. Scott did get his numbers a lot better last year against lefties. Part of why I brought him up, he had gone up like 10 points, or maybe that was Joe Adell, but I think Scott also went up a good bit against lefties. And you know we'll gladly take a walk as well. Not yet, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Line left center. Not hit that deep though, and it's caught. I'm used to those making it to left center. Gorman hit a grand slam following 2 doubles, an error, and a hit by pitch. We've already had, 7 reach in the inning, and it's 7-1. How did we build this offensive juggernaut? 7-1 Cards and 2 aboard for Scott. That one should have hit him. And both runners. Oh, come on. No way. No way they got Nolan on that. Great. Now nobody's on. We go top 4. Remember how long it took me to hit a home run with Aaron Don? I wonder how long it's going to take me to hit one with Victor Scott. Fly to left field, going contact swing, and I think I'll do a lot of contact swings with Scott, but he is retired. And we pick it up now, Nestor Cortez, bottom of the 5th. So far, so good, it appears. It's Luis Arraez. Lefty, lefty. And here is Scott heading to the gap. He'll attempt to cut this off, and does. It looks like a run will score, and it's 7-2. George Springer is with the Marlins now in the franchise, and it's a 7-3 game. Cortez still out there. And in comes Scott. Easy play. Victor Scott now in the 9th inning. Runner aboard. Inside from Dennis Santana. Ground ball on a good changeup to hit. No chance of doubling him up. He doesn't hit the ball very hard, that's for sure. You're just hoping to find a way through the infield. Scott will run. It's lifted. And that should wrap things up here in the 9th. Andre Palante trying to put this one to bed. And it's a routine play for Scott as the Cardinals look to stay undefeated. 4-0 to open the season behind some really impressive offense. Gorman goes yard. That was a grand slam. Arenado has his first of the year. And all 4 of our starters, I'm pretty sure, have recorded pitcher wins. Meanwhile, the Cincinnati Reds have also not lost a game. The Brewers have been our primary competition in the Central, but here are the Reds at this stage with Elly De La Cruz, Will Benson. They brought over Josh Naylor from the Guardians, have Spencer Steer, Jonathan India. They also signed Cedric Mullins, it appears. Elly is an 85 overall. Very good, but definitely not an elite contributor right now offensively. And the Brewers, meanwhile, are 0-5. I love the way the standings look right now. Tink Hence makes his first start of the season, getting a chance to be in the rotation to kick off the year as the Cardinals win it 8-2. Hence earns a pitcher victory. Not bad to open the season in such a fashion. Victor Scott, 2 more doubles on a 17-hit day. This is ridiculous how productive we've been. Now we have faced 2 of the worst teams. On the 1st of April, April Fools, we win again, 6-0. Another 7-1 game. We hit 5 homers in this game. We got Joey Loperfido going yard. That's where things are right now. In a 2-hit win for Dylan Cease. Is it good to have a 38 run differential 6 games into the year? I want to take a step back, actually, because the AA team is about to kick their season off. I'm excited about Benny Matsumoto. We'll definitely be checking on him throughout the year. Those are awesome uniforms, I think, too, for this AA squad. I wanted to, though, get the first game in with last year's first-round pick, and that is Daryl Marino, a 72 overall, 18-year-old first baseman. He is well ahead of schedule offensively. I look at him as being one of the cornerstones of this series. The question is only when. Well, we got to start somewhere, and that somewhere is going to be right now on a very concerningly stormy night, perhaps. And here is Daryl Marino taking his first at bat. Wow, he's got that foot pointed back towards me right now. All right. You know, whenever I see a player doesn't have like generic one as their stance or generic wind up one, typically roll with it. I like seeing unique stances. Sometimes I adjust like the hands or just the angle of the bat if there's something else I want that player to have. But otherwise, if they are drafted and have some personality, then we keep it. Bounce toward third on the backhand. It's picked up. Double play. Benny Matsumoto pitching in the fourth, and Marino can't save it from traveling into right field. So it looks like his hot and cold zones, he doesn't like its center of the plate. Well, how about now? Down the line! That's a fair ball, and Marino's got his first extra base knock in the minors with a double here in the fourth. One thing I actually look at a lot with these players is exit velocity. The fact that I got 102 there is pretty promising. When a guy's hitting the ball hard, you can tell he's got a bat that should be able to play at the majors. Marino flying around third, head first safely, and it's a tie game. And that's mainly for guys whose game is predicated on offense and getting extra base hits. Obviously, there are players like Victor Scott who might never hit 102 in this series, but can still be productive without it. A ground ball trying to get 2 for 1. Out of the fifth is Matsumoto. But the hot-cold zones indicate he likes to pitch away, especially has a hot zone inside. Lifted to left and caught. Bottom of the seventh. Bouncer to short. Again, swinging at that first pitch. But on top of it there with a power swing. And that's going to be it for the debut of Daryl Marino. He goes 1 for 4 with a double. And we'll see him and his career get underway along with Steve Padilla, who goes yard in his debut. Both of those players were drafted last season. Back at the bigs now. 6-0 are our St. Louis Cardinals. I'm eyeing a game with Nestor Cortez today, and unfortunately, the perfect season comes to an end. We were only 157 games away from making history after such a start, but we lose. But the next day, we score 13 plus and win easily against the Braves. This is going to be a ridiculous offense if this is any indication. I mean, we were good last year. The start of this season is just incredible. And I forgot we're going to have some scouting to talk as well. So I haven't seen the players yet, but I am hoping that we can start to strengthen a couple other areas in this organization. I would like to look into catchers, being that we don't really have a prospect for the future on this team in our starters 33. I'd also like to look into the shortstops. Mason Wynn is a bit of a question mark, and I want to have more choices there. Well, I think one of our scouts retired or something because I did not sign Jared Pringle. We're going to bring in Ricky Ellis to be one of our scouts this year, and we're not focusing too much on pitchers, but I like having Luca Thurston as the well-rounded kind of do-everything scout. Looking for a good third scout, and this might be a good route for us to go with these three. We're going to focus a lot this year on catcher, shortstop, and I'm going to throw third base in there because our Elvis Martinez is also a bit of a question mark. We need some more depth there at the hot corner. Let's take a look at how strong this class looks. The number one player is a closing pitcher, Rodney Hancock, a 4-year college player. Albert Yokoyama, 19-year-old starting pitcher. Another reliever in David Flood, Pedro Mesa. A lot of relievers here early on, which I guess is good when you're picking later, but I thought they had adjusted more of this so the relievers wouldn't show up that early. But we are seeing, going back to last year, even the early top 10 relievers didn't go until later in the first round, which I do think, if they're really good relievers, I don't think that's necessarily bad. But let's look at our target positions, beginning at short. Robbie Hinson is number 1, then Sandy Flaherty, Gustavo Campillo. Looks like there are 4 in the top 100, but only 1 above 87. This is where discovery is probably going to have to come into play. Let's go to third base, where we have Fred Dodson, the 29th ranked player. I'm going to have to get a pronunciation guide on Brooke here, but he is a 34th ranked player. Edgar Mateo, Leslie Fisher. So there's a lot of first, second round value here. But keep in mind this year, after signing Dylan Cease, we do not own a second round pick. So much like the first season, we have to focus on nailing that very first pick and then hoping we can find value down the board. I believe when you have a season like this, it makes a lot of sense to focus heavily on discovery, so much of your board is made up of players that aren't on other teams' radar. So right off the bat, I want to discover infielders. We're going to go west because the 2 best shortstop prospects are already in the west. If we can find some more, that would be ideal. I think catcher is one of those positions where it's perfect to think of that beyond the first round. Obviously, it's not an imminent need, but to have someone who could be a legit prospect would be nice. I'm just going to discover catchers as well. Thankfully, you can focus specifically on that. The 3 best catchers are all international prospects, and there are plenty others, so we're going to look for international catchers. And then I'm just curious here, if we have our third scout focus on one player, we can get 60% in 1 week. That's not that bad. I'm just going to go and have him scout the top shortstop to see what we have here with the 18-year-old Robbie Hinson. Oh, only 30% for him. Maybe we'll just look at the West then as a whole. And that'll be our first scouting session of the year. Nestor Cortez now prepares to take on the Atlanta Braves in his second start with the St. Louis Cardinals. And we'll get a look at one of the teams we expect to be strong as always in the National League. Should be a good challenge. And we're breaking out the City Connect uniforms even if the ones for St. Louis aren't the best. City Connect seems to be hit or miss, but in general, I do like the uniform gimmicks the professional leagues run these days. Even if, like, a few are bad, there's always going to be some gems. To me, the Cardinals City Connect uniforms look like spring training uniforms, where it's like that primary solid color. I don't know. Like, it's just more red than usual. Kind of too on the nose for me. Nestor Cortez takes on the Atlanta Braves, and Michael Harris leads things off. Outside with the fastball, that's in the lower 90s. But I do like Cortez replacing Matz in the rotation. He's a lefty who throws, I think, a fairly similar pitch mix and velocities. I talked about having interest in Ranger Suarez in the offseason, but to me, Cortez was just a little bit better, and I liked the idea of challenging the Yankees to get him when they were only making a middling offer. So that's why we ended up on Cortez. Grounded softly at Arenado, and Harris is retired. Acuna hits third. He's off to a scorching start, but here in the 2 spot is Orlando Arcia. Good cutter from Cortez, and I'm happy to also add somebody into this rotation that throws a cutter. Probably my favorite pitch. Next to Andre Palante's cartoon curveball. 1-2. And a soft grounder at Donovan. And it's 2 away. And Ronald Acuna Jr., already a pair of homers, a 1265 OPS. Do I really want to challenge him inside with the fastball? Not really. Recommend something else. Base hit center field. And given his track record, he might as well already be on second. 77 speed, but 94 steal. Let's make sure we have his attention here. Matt Olson looks at a fastball or a cutter. See that extra lead? Almost got him. Clipping the bottom edge, and Acuna's got to be running here. A glorified pitch out incoming, and strike 3 on Matt Olson. We're up against Michael Wacha, the former St. Louis Cardinal, and I briefly considered even offering him a contract in the offseason, but we do not have another Cardinals reunion. We have Brendan Donovan on a 12-game hitting streak with a .419 average. Out in front of the circle change. Got him. Strike 3. Neither pitcher here is going to rely on overpowering velocity, so kind of a change of pace. Fun matchup. See if we can find some off-speed to clobber. And Nootbaar sends one to left center, but it's run down. And Jordan Walker already has 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, a Gold Glove winner from last year. 1-2. Just a bit inside. Busted his bat, and the inning is over. Down 2-0 to Ozzie Albies, top of the second. And it's sent towards Scott, and that was one of the more aggressive shifts I think I've seen in this game. Scott makes the catch, and now Austin Riley. Heck of a lineup in Atlanta. Ours ain't half bad either. Down the line, but foul. And he got him on the circle change. His second punch out. Sean Murphy sends one to Scott. And it's a clean first 6 outs for Nestor Cortez. Wilson Contreras has one of the lower batting averages so far with just a .222. He's had really good starts to seasons in this series, leading him to the All-Star game a couple times. A lot of pitches inside here, and you've got to be ready to turn on those quickly. I've been pretty late on a lot of these pitches. A bouncer towards short, and gobbled up by Arcia. How about 5 homers already for Nolan Gorman? Who does he think he is, hitting 5 in like 8 games? Royce Lewis? 98 career home runs. I gotta stop chasing this changeup like that. 1-2 to Gorman. Got him! The fastball. Wacha has our number right now. Lane Thomas. Still looking for my first hit with him. I do think it's important when you're playing the show to be confident with whoever it is you're hitting with, and I'm not there yet with Thomas. That's a ball. And I'm not getting there with that swing. Marcell Ozuna hitting .462 is in the 8th spot for Atlanta. That's where their offense is. Wow, 5 for 6 against Cortez. A lot of extra base hits. I actually can't believe the game keeps track of all that, because as you play your franchise, it's applying that production to those numbers as well. Not always used to sports games having that level of effort or detail. Wow! Nasty Nestor has come to play. I like Gio Urshela. He was with the Twins for a short time, and I liked him at third base there. And he's the last out here, top 3. I'm sorry, I'm ahead of schedule. I like this strike zone today. I need to look into this a little bit because it probably wouldn't even take me that long, but Cortez obviously came up with the Yankees, or had his big years with the Yankees. I'm curious how he was with New York in 2019, had a short stay with the Mariners in 2020, and then came back to the Yankees to become a very solid starter. What happened in Seattle where things didn't work out? I got some Wikipedia research here to read, y'all, as it's grounded to Donovan, and that is the third out. So he was traded to the Seattle Mariners for $28,300 of international bonus pool money, which I think is just a drop in the bucket. He ended up changing the grip of his fastball, adding backspin to the pitch, and that was something they worked on apparently when he was hurt. He then in 2020 gave up 13 runs in 7 2/3 innings, and they got rid of him off the 40-man roster. This was actually, he returned to the Yankees a couple different times. Cortez went Yankees, then Orioles, Yankees again, then Mariners, and then Yankees, where he became a 2022 All-Star and has been in their rotation very solidly. Inside here to Arenado. So somebody with the Yankees just could not give up on Nestor Cortez, and they were right. 3-2 to Nolan Arenado. All right, we finally changed the eye level, and it is strike 3. Why am I having so much trouble with Michael Wacha today? Mason Wynn gets the start, by the way. Tommy Edman the day off. And Mason Wynn lines one into left field for a base hit. And Victor Scott hits with a .500 batting average. To the outside, ball 1. That's the highest batting average on the team. Victor Scott chasing a batting title. All right, I'm a little bit ahead of it, I think. And a ground ball. He's not easy to double up. And Scott barely beats it out. I think we all know what's coming here. Brendan Donovan. And a stolen base for Victor Scott. What has he been doing without me pressing steal every time? 6 stolen bases already. And Donovan drove him in twice in that last episode on opening day. Another chance. But he gets under it. And that will look to end the inning. A ground ball here in the 4th. We're trying to set a record for the length of game today. Throwing that sweeping curve at Acuna. 29 strikes to 9 balls. He's had really good command of his pitches. And Acuna chases. Now Matt Olson falling behind as Cortez with 4 strikeouts on the day picks up number 5. Nasty Nestor. What a start. Nasty is also how I would describe my swing so far today. Bottom of the fourth, Lars Nootbaar leads off. A fastball up there. Bouncer to short. Easy out. Battling with Jordan Walker in the 2-2 count. Walker continues to locate very well. Got him on the outer corner. Strike 3. Turns foul at the last moment. And Ozzie Albies now the latest to fall behind Cortez. Just low. 3-2 count. Cortez looking for the punch out. Got him chasing. No walks yet in the game for Cortez. And a grounder. The only one there is Jordan Walker. He's got to have some of the more aggressive pull numbers than if we're shifting like that. Another good fastball from Cortez. A strikeout of Austin Riley gives him 6. Every now and then, a guy just feels unstoppable. The ball just keeps going right where you want it. Every pitch has been working. Let's see, 0-2 on Murphy. He chases the changeup. Strike 3. What a pitching matchup we've had in this game. I didn't see it coming. Let's see if we can break through now in the 5th. Enough is enough. We have the most potent offense in baseball. We need to start playing like it. Yeah, a little late still as he pitches inside. Everything's been in. That was much better, but Gorman fouls it off. Got him. Good change. How about Lane Thomas? Maybe he's the guy to get us on track again. Popped up. Got a cutter over the middle. And it's the 2nd out. Nolan fouls back a fastball. The pitches are there in this inning. We're just not doing what we need to. Fouled back. Come on. He's spinning that changeup up there now. And now we get the lazy fly ball and the end of the 5th. And finally, one put in play. It is deep and gone. Ozuna, who's had the historical success against Nestor Cortez. And now he sends one 448 feet to finally put a run on the board today. Cortez pitching ahead of Michael Harris. He strikes him out looking. Just one big mistake so far, and that's 8 strikeouts. Bouncer past Arenado, and suddenly a 2-hit inning for Atlanta. That extends things for Ronald Acuna Jr. Uh-oh, that got by Contreras. Wild pitch. Trying to play it safe here against Acuna. And might have gotten away with one. Nootbaar is not able to track it down. And Scott plays it on a hop. That just found the perfect patch of grass to fall into. I probably would have been better off just switching to Scott and trying to make that play. I thought that was going to be an easy out. 2 runs suddenly for Atlanta. And with this, it should be the end of the inning. But now, hopefully it's our turn to wake up. Michael Wacha, 65 pitches in. Fouled off, but we can see the control, the command is starting to go. Base hit left field. Mason Wynn has both of our hits today. And now we got Victor Scott, 4 for 9 in the series against Atlanta. Down the line, it's foul. Wynn goes, strike 3 on Scott. That was way too high, but stealing second is Mason Wynn. So we have a runner in scoring position. And Donovan lines one to left. It gets down. Here comes Wynn. He scores. Another RBI single for Brendan Donovan, and it's 2-1. Good showcase here in this inning for Mason Wynn. That single he hit was very sharp, and his speed contributes to us finally getting on the board. Oh, I didn't want to swing. I wanted to hold back on that one. Lars Nootbaar. He's got a spot he wants to hit in this at-bat. Too low and now full with Jordan Walker on deck. Got him! What a pitch! Where did this come from? 2 gone now for Jordan Walker. And he's under it, lifted to shallow right. And it's the end of the 6th as both offenses finally get their footing. And now we'll see how much longer the starters stay in. I will be comfortable keeping Cortez out here to start the 7th. Don't want to face the top of the order again. Cortez went 7 in his first start. That's what we aim to duplicate here. That's going to be a long run for Nootbaar, and he won't get there. Flying around first is Albies. That could be triple for him. And he holds up. Let's see, we got Riley and then Murphy and Ozuna. Cortez staying in the game for now. 2 strikeouts on the day for Austin Riley. And 2 good strikes. That got away from Contreras. Another wild pitch. Second of the day for Cortez. Inside to Riley, and the count's full. Got him out in front. A big strikeout. Nestor has 9. Do we think about making a move now? We're going to bring in Hunter Harvey. A little bit better splits having the righty against Murphy, and we're hoping for Murphy to not do much right here, but that was a great look at Cortez. Very impressed. And now we got Sean Murphy versus Hunter Harvey. Pitching with a 2-1 count. That's going to be a run as Thomas tracks it down. The Braves back up by 2. Ozuna. Another hit. And that'll be a single. Urshela now gets in on the fun. Ozuna sent around second base. And now at third, he is given the green light, and he is safe at the plate. So the Braves have figured some things out. Another hit in this inning. Really good production with 2 outs to have a well-hit sac fly and 2 solid hits to back it up. That could land in. Here comes Scott. Not even he has a chance to get to it. A ridiculous game this is turning into. A couple of bloops fall in for a team that's usually hitting it over your head. 5-1. Get Joe. Well, I don't even want JoJo necessarily in here, but I guess for 1 out. Don't want to usually use him in a 4-run deficit. But just get the fresh arm in there. Jeez, what's going on? Scott's going to get to the spot. Can't bring it back, and it's gone. Orlando Arcia, and this game's broken open. And they just did this against the best 2 bullpen arms we're going to throw at them until we get to Helsley. This is just a joke at this point. I've lost count of how many hits this is. The Braves suddenly have 10 as a team. So everything Cortez did right in the first 5-6 frames quickly being erased. It's still not over. Line to left. Acuna waved home. 8 runs. Really a tale of 2 games. Finally, it's over. That's to left. We got a hit. If they got 6 in an inning, why can't we? We've done it before. Nolan Gorman. Good change up, strike 3. And Lane Thomas will hit 0 for 2. Strike on the outside. And Thomas sends one out to right center. But that one is easily caught by Michael Harris. Taking low is Arenado as we work a full count. And got him with the slider. Good chance to get a guy like Norris Sullivan some more innings of experience. He'll take over in left field. We can have some fun with that 12-6 curve at least. And a strikeout for Andre Palante. Donovan knocks it down. And Ozuna has a 3-hit day. Here comes Scott. Quickly gets to the spot. Donovan, he can hit. That wasn't even a very good pitch to swing at, but thankfully Donovan helps us do something with a 7-run deficit in the 8th inning. Working a count now with Lars Nootbaar. It is 3-1. And he walks. Yanoa having some trouble finding the zone recently. And Walker hits one hard to third and is retired. 100 off the bat. Palante, there's that 12-6 picking up his 3rd strikeout of the outing. And it's been a 3-hit day for Ronald Acuna Jr. Here comes that big breaking ball. And that's past Donovan. 4 for 5. And that should wrap it up here. It was just 1 inning that really got away from us. And we'll see if we have any lasting highlights from the last inning here. And here is Norris Sullivan, who hits with 2 gone in the 9th. Down the middle, a strike. Sullivan looking for that first big league hit still. 3-2. Come on, give him something in the zone. Grounded up the middle and through. Norris Sullivan has his first major league hit. Bouncing one up the middle. It's a day to remember, at least for somebody. Let's savor this one. The first player to get a hit in this series that I drafted. Sullivan getting an extra lead, 2 steps. And look at that, a stolen base. They know he's so fast they didn't even bother. That doesn't count? If they don't try, it doesn't count? Whatever, I still should have taken it. It's free. Why can't we hit today? Perfect way for this one to end. We were swinging with a pool noodle all day. And the Braves take this game. Final score 8-1. Sometimes all you need is one weird inning to go your way. But we'll have a lot more baseball coming your way here in Season 3. We'll win some, we'll lose some. And hopefully we have ourselves some great moments. At least Nestor Cortez had a great outing. Had the first hit with Norris Sullivan. Excited to see where the future of this team is. The future is certainly very bright. Chris Rotondo just pulled his calf. He's going to miss a little time. Next time, I'd like to get a game in with Tink Hence. Not in this next game, probably a little bit later in the month. But I'd love your feedback here on the early episodes in Year 3. Here's a look at the early season leaders. Victor Scott, 16 hits. Do you believe, everybody? Victor Scott, 457. 15 hits for Brendan Donovan. 5 homers for Nolan Gorman. Dylan Cease numbers are very good. Sonny Gray. I mean, all the starters have excellent numbers so far. A lot of our relievers don't even have ERAs yet. Wow, and it's my fault that he's not number 1. I'm going to leave y'all on this note right here. The Victor Scott breakout could be upon us. Thank you for watching today's episode in the Cardinals franchise. Please smash that like button for more Norris Sullivan running action, Victor Scott multi-hit games, and who knows what else could also be lumped in there. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Have a great day.